Thank you, Madam Chair. I certainly want to join my colleagues in offering my condolences to Mr. Payne's family and also to the staff. Losing Mr. Payne, to me, I mean, it's definitely and obviously from what my colleagues have had to say, a loss to our nation, but it's also a loss to the world and to the continent of Africa. I just wanted to say that, share a little story. Before I came here, after I won my election in Los Angeles, I represent a very diverse district, and there's a lot of Africans from a variety of countries there. And so wanting to get to know my district and get prepared to come to Washington, I organized a meeting, and about 40 representatives from various African nations came, academics and business people, et cetera. And they began to tell me about Mr. Payne. Now, they've never met him, but he was legendary all the way in Los Angeles. Folks who, were recent immigrants telling me that when I get to Washington, I had to work with Mr. Payne. I asked to be on the Foreign Affairs Committee and wanted to be on the subcommittee on Africa, and immediately they gave me the task of bringing Mr. Payne to Los Angeles. And so I worked, and I think I almost harassed his staff and him for him to come to Los Angeles, and never did I realize that he wasn't well. And I just have to say that I really regret not having the opportunity to travel to Africa with him. When he would open up the subcommittee with his comments, in his very humble and gentle way, he would always reference, as many of my colleagues have said, well, before the hearing, I spoke with President so-and-so. I mean, he seemed to know every president. And I remember being startled when one day, in his very calm voice, he also said, well, when we were leaving, I think it was Somalia, and my plane was fired on. And I remember looking back at him and saying, what? He's just really going to be a loss to all of us. I had looked forward to being the sponge that sat next to him and sucking up all of his knowledge. And so he will be deeply missed by me personally, and I know he will be missed by everyone on the committee and in our nation. Thank you.